Welcome. I'm Dr. Rob Silver, Chief Veterinary Officer for Real Mushrooms, and I'm the creator of this new formula that I want to present to you today. In fact, I'm the creator of all the products for pets that Real Mushrooms sells. And this is our newest product called the Mobility Chews. And of course, we call them the Mobility Chews because in fact, they are designed to help your pet have healthy mobility. Well, let's see what we have in store for you today. What I want to do in this presentation is first, I want to tell you what this formula can do for your pet. And then I want to also tell you what makes this formula special in terms of, a deep dive into each of the individual ingredients. This formula will provide ease on your pet's journey to wellness. If your pet has mobility issues, then the ingredients in here will help to support the health of your pet's hips and joints and help to support its ability to become more mobile, getting around better. It supports the healthy hips and joints because it contains several pretty cool ingredients. It has the green-lipped mussel that is found in the pristine waters around New Zealand, Perna canaliculus. It's very tasty, edible mushroom, but it also contains these naturally occurring joint lubricants like chondroitin sulfates and marine lipids, which support cartilage health. And by making the cartilage healthier, it gives it more cushioning so that the daily activities aren't quite as problematic to that joint tissue. It also contains mushroom-derived beta-glucans and adaptogens, and these can help to enhance overall joint function and resilience. It targets joint structures, which help to support long-term hip and joint health. It's a really good formula. You should check it out. Another thing that it does is it will ease the occasional joint stiffness that we're going to see just from daily activity. This is because it contains 3 potent functional mushrooms. It contains an Ayurvedic herb that's used frequently to help with these mobility issues called Boswellia serrata, also known as Indian frankincense, by the way, and also contains MSM, which is an abbreviation for that tongue-twisting name, methyl sulfonomethane, which is a oral form of DMSO. And these help to maintain a healthy response in your pet to inflammation, and this can help ease joint stiffness that's due to daily normal exercise and activity. This is ideal for active dogs or for those who are experiencing age-related mobility issues. It will enhance joint fluid viscosity, which is very important, for that joint to be moving around, nicely and without friction. So this will also help to improve mobility. And the green-lipped mussel is a major player in enhancing the joint fluid viscosity because it does help to maintain that synovial fluid, and it's that synovial fluid that will lubricate those joints for smoother movement. Green-lipped mussel will promote comfort, flexibility, especially in senior dogs with reduced activity levels. And stay tuned, we're going to talk a bunch more about green-lipped mussel because it's a very important part of this formula, although it is not a mushroom, admittedly. This formula also has very potent antioxidants and can also help to support connective tissue health. It has these 3 functional mushrooms that we've alluded to in the prior slide, and it has the Boswellia, which have potent, strong antioxidant properties, and this helps to combat the oxidative stress. These are the free radicals that are derived from daily activity, from metabolism, but also possibly from toxins and other types of influences like ultraviolet light can create these free radicals, which are these these ions that can cause tissue damage. And in this case, we're talking about tissue damage in the joints, but these free radicals, wherever they are, will contribute to tissue damage, which is one reason why the use of antioxidants on a daily basis is very important. The green-lipped mussel has over 50 active ingredients in it that will improve joint fluid viscosity, joint fluid cartilage structure, and they all function to help relieve occasional joint stiffness. This formula will promote normal muscle recovery as well. Remember, the joints don't move unless you've got muscles that are working too. And so it promotes normal muscle recovery and flexibility. And in part, we want to credit the Cordyceps mushroom, which has been shown in studies to enhance muscle strength, performance, and endurance, and also has been found to aid in muscle recovery following activity or play. MSM and Boswellia, they both assist to reduce muscle soreness following strenuous exercise. This formula will help to maintain the structural integrity of joints and connective tissue. The MSM and the Boswellia, as we've been talking about, they're very important ingredients, help to reduce the breakdown of these cartilage supporting ingredients that we're providing in the green-lipped mussel. Thus, they maintain higher blood levels, and that will support the joint structures and will promote healthy cartilage function. Together, these two ingredients prevent the cartilage degradation and support the long-term structural health in active or aging pets. All right, so that's kind of what the formula is going to do. Let's talk about what in the formula does that. And we've, of course, alluded to it because you can't really talk about the formula without mentioning some of these ingredients, but we're going to take a deep dive now, an ingredient deep dive, in fact, as the slide says. So, green-lipped mussel powder, known to support joint health, rich in these mucopolysaccharides, which is a polysyllabic fancy name for glucosamine and chondroitin and glycosaminoglycans and all these tongue twisters of molecules that support joint fluid viscosity and cartilage function. And they also, interestingly enough, not only are they helpful in the joint to increase joint fluid viscosity and lubricity, but they also can provide a healthy response to occasional inflammation. And multiple studies, very good studies, in fact, I've got them quoted below in this slide, show benefits for arthritis in both dogs and cats by reducing joint stiffness and improving mobility. Cordyceps mushroom, which is really one of my favorite mushrooms. It's a pretty interesting mushroom. It has a very nice taste to it. I think it tastes a little bit like toast, but Cordyceps has been known, and many athletes know about this, that it enhances stamina, enhances recovery, supports muscle recovery and endurance, and it improves ATP production and helps to reduce fatigue. Now, ATP are the molecules that our bodies produce that provide us with the energy. We derive the ATP ultimately from food sources. So the Cordyceps mushroom provides a normal response to inflammation, in part because it contains cordycepin, a unique and potent constituent of this mushroom, and this assists in supporting a healthy response to inflammation of the synovial joint membranes. Let's not forget the golden oyster, this Pleurotus citrinopileatus extract. What we like about the golden oyster mushroom is that, second to the porcini mushroom, it has the highest level of that amazing advanced antioxidant known as ergothioneine. We call it ergo for short because it can also be a tongue twister, but ergothioneine has been shown to protect the mitochondria from exercise-induced oxidative stress. In other words, when we exercise, which is a normal thing to do, it produces these free radicals, and these free radicals have the potential to create tissue damage. So we need antioxidants to reduce that tissue damage just from normal day-to-day exercise. And not only does it help to protect the mitochondria from the oxidative stress, but it also boosts mitochondrial function. Ergo has been shown to enhance energy production and supports activity and recovery. But both cordyceps and ergo, even though they work at the level of the mitochondrion to help produce more available energy in the body, they don't make you jittery. It's not like it's caffeine to give you energy. They have a very natural way of producing energy by working at the level of the mitochondrion, which is the powerhouse for energy in the cell. Reishi mushroom, which is the mushroom of immortality and one of the oldest known mushrooms that's been used in a functional way, contains these potent triterpenes. These are hydrocarbon molecules that in part give reishi its very bitter taste, but they provide a healthy response to occasional discomfort caused by strenuous activities by regulating the nerve signals that are going to detect that painful experience. Reishi triterpenes also help to maintain a normal inflammatory cytokine cascade. A little bit complicated there, but the cytokines are these protein molecules that the body produces to create inflammation. And if we can work with those cytokines, because there's pro-inflammatory cytokines and there's anti-inflammatory cytokines. And so the triterpenes in reishi help to support the good cytokines, which ultimately helps your dog feel better. That's what I'm trying to say. And oftentimes this inflammation, as I've been mentioning, is associated just with normal day-to-day activity and exercise. Now, let's talk a little bit about MSM, that tongue-twisting word methyl sulfonomethane. And it's an oral form of DMSO, which perhaps you're familiar with, has been used for years topically, particularly with horses over their joints to help with their discomfort. This is an oral form of it, and it has been found in research to be synergistic with the naturally occurring joint lubricants that green mussel provides that supports muscle and joint function and also provides a healthy response to occasional inflammation. So we've got multiple ingredients in here which work through multiple pathways to help relieve and support a healthy response to the occasional inflammation that daily exercise and activity will cause, that ultimately over time can cause damage to those joints. MSM is a sulfur-rich antioxidant, and it reduces oxidative stress, which, as we're sounding like a broken record, can be damaging to joint tissues. And it does this by inhibiting a nuclear transcription factor called NF-kappa B. Now, what happens is this protein, NF-kappa B, goes into the nucleus and signals to the DNA to produce pro-inflammatory cytokines. So by inhibiting that protein from doing that, we effectively reduce the pro-inflammatory cytokines, thereby creating a healthy response to inflammation. Boswellia serrata, as we've mentioned, Indian frankincense. The resin of this tree looks pretty sparse there up there in the high desert, but the resin of this tree is collected much in the same way that maple syrup is actually. And this resin has been found to be very effective in inhibiting collagen degradation and also inhibiting the enzymes that support an inflammatory response. And a number of enzymes, PG2 alpha, NF-kappa B, as we mentioned with MSM, and also the COX2 and LOX5 enzymes, all of which promote a pro-inflammatory state. And it has been studied widely and even in dogs. And daily use has been shown to improve mobility in dogs. And I have the citation down below, a 2023 article, so it's pretty new. So yeah, so this is in the formula as well. It's and it's a very powerful part of this formula, which will help your critter to feel better almost immediately, because as an herb, it has an almost immediate effect. So that's what's in the formula. It's a great formula. Got 60 soft chews in that wide mouth plastic jar. And basically, a starting dosage would be one soft chew for each 20 pounds of body weight daily. But individual results will vary based on your own animal's problem, how severe it is, its metabolism, its absorption, its weight. Is it overweight? Is it underweight? Is it very active? A lot of factors come into play. So it may be that the initial administration guide of a chew per 20 pounds of body weight daily needs to be increased, maybe to one chew twice daily, or maybe two chews twice daily. I think you will be able to see which level of administration works best for the individual situation that is your pet. For cats, same thing, but much less. I would offer them a quarter of a soft chew. I would give it twice daily. And if you can at all crumble the soft chew into their moist food, maybe start with just a teeny pinch of it, because cats, they're pretty reluctant about trying something new. So I always suggest starting with a very small amount, putting that into something tasty, and continuing with that really small amount for several days, just as a way for them to get exposed to that new taste and to get more used to it. So as you increase the amount you're giving them, they'll be more accepting of it. But ultimately, talk to your veterinarian, ask their advice. Now, of course, many veterinarians aren't that knowledgeable about the use of mushrooms, and that's one thing I'm doing is going out extensively and teaching veterinarians about how to use mushrooms. But if there are questions, you can certainly suggest that your veterinarian reach out to me, another veterinarian, chief veterinary officer of Real Mushrooms, and I can help to give them some guidance regarding this as well. So there you go. Real Mushrooms Mobility Chews for Pets. It's brand new. Check it out. Be well.